In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Side podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still back.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight, and sitting across from me is the one, the only, Cash Kraus. Cash?
Yes. Did you see that fucking Yoda tried to
did.
grab the water bottle in my
did.
hand?
Little bastard. You got to watch that
I'll
thing.
fucking kick that guy straight in the head.
Well,
You
understandable.
know I will. I'll punt him
He
across
does have
this.
some skills, I will say.
He does.
Some
Very
Jedi
strong.
powers, but hey,
Very, very strong.
who am I to
Yes.
tell you can't do something?
Yeah. But,
If you believe, you shall achieve.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other inspirational quotes you want to throw out there?
Nope.
We are back for another Namaste.
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 Wednesday. Absolutely.
Doing another one. This week we're doing a horror comedy called Stree.
Yes.
Directed by Amir Kashik, I want to say.
America Chic.
Sounds cool.
That sounds real close.
Sounds like a cool name anyways.
Absolutely.
But he's not known for a lot of films directing, but he was the assistant director on Go Goa Gone,
Hey.
a film we previously
Yes.
reviewed. So if you haven't seen Go Go Gone, go check that out on our channel. Watch
And-
this video first, then go check that out on our channel.
Right. And Raj and DK were the writers of this film, also wrote Go Goa Gone.
Whoa.
Mind blown. Holy shit.
This
it's like
is
people do other
great.
projects.
I'm more of a one and done kind of guy. I
Right.
paint a masterpiece, I
You'll
leave
walk
it.
away, you retire.
I'm in the mindset of retiring top of the mountain.
That's understandable.
Okay, I'm Michael Jordan if he didn't come back for the Wizards. So, yeah.
Hey, you know what? If he didn't come back, I would have never saw him play live as a
Very
little
true.
child.
Lucky you saw the worst version of one of the greatest players.
Yes, but still got to see the greatest.
Actually,
player.
he still averaged over 20 points that season.
did.
Just want people to know.
did.
It's not
Hey.
a sports podcast,
No,
but
it's
he
not.
was still the GOAT.
Still relevant.
But yeah, we did. Go Go Gone was another horror comedy.
Yes, it was.
I felt that was more of a horror comedy. This one more horror comedy romance, and then kind of adventure film at the end.
Yeah, you know, we'll talk about not too much of the film yet because we want to jump into our poll
Yes,
that you guys can find every single week. We do a Namaste Wednesday poll where you guys vote. You guys voted Stree pretty unanimously this week. I believe it won about 40% of the votes. Had almost 1,000 votes. So yeah.
yeah, and Stree's been on there for a while.
Yeah, very strange. Well, we re-added Stree on. We added it like a few months back, took it off the list, and now
was
added
that
it
it?
back.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But it never won for those months because people wanted us to do other films. But people were like, "You guys got to see Stree." And I got to be honest with you, coming away from this film, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought there were a lot of funny elements to it. In Pankaj Tripathi, I thought was hilarious. And completely different role than we've seen him in any other movie.
The consensus for the voting on Stree was mostly not. It wasn't the best movie on our poll, but a lot of people wanted us to review it regardless.
Yes.
They said for some reason they wanted to see us review, even though a lot of them said not the best movie. But still, a lot of them said that they wanted us to review it. So I thought that was kind of strange.
Yeah.
I don't know why they wanted us to maybe.
I
Maybe because
think-
it was a little different than what we've done.
Yeah, it's definitely
before.
different.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But I do have to say, like, it's very hard.
Not different in the casting because
No.
we've seen these same people in maybe the last
many,
four films that we've
Chandra
reviewed.
Kapoor, Raj Kumar Rao, Pankaj Tripathi, Yeah, we've seen them time and time again together. I mean,
We got to break. We got to do one film
without any of them. Yeah,
we got to do one film without fucking Raj, because I seriously think our last 4 films
have had him in it. Yeah. It might be
He's
a problem.
fucking great.
He's great.
I
He's a
love
great
him
actor.
and everything. He's
Yeah.
got great charisma, that guy.
does.
Very likable. But
Very likable.
people are going to start to think this is a fan
Raj Kumar
channel
Rao
dedicated strictly to reviewing
have a little
movies.
montage. Have a picture of him
Yeah.
just right in the background.
So
you
really,
know?
it's different, but it's not that different from stuff we did, because it's still, in the vein of style of film that he does. It's not like a straight up drama or something like that.
I wanted to talk. I was talking off air with you. I was very curious to get your take on this film. But for me, for whatever reason, like this grabbed my attention. And yes, there are comedy elements of this film that you kind of have to suspend your belief. Like obviously it's a lot of lore and like witches and stuff like that. But I really actually felt like they did a good job of kind of blending the two together. And this film never took itself too seriously. And that's what I liked about the comedy elements of it. It's like, yes,
Yeah.
it was scary. It was, in the horror genre. But the comedy elements kind of added to it where it didn't take itself too seriously. And you kind of just wanted to know the story about Stree.
Yes, well, I am kind of in the reverse camp, where I thought the comedy elements kind of undercut the horror elements. I felt there was some cool horror elements, I thought, in
Yeah,
this
there were.
that looked pretty good. But I thought the comedy and the romance really, I thought, undercut the horror elements, because you'd go from a good horror scene that was pretty scary, even though, like you said, it is comedy, but there is some stuff that they definitely tried to be scary at.
Yeah.
And then you cut into a very romantic scene where he's doing measurements of the lady in the forest, and it's
Yeah,
music
yeah.
is playing, and then he's doing like weird measurements with his hands and whatnot. But I felt like that kind of undercut some of the better horror elements. Although some of the horror elements weren't great, I thought the monster Stree, they chose to have a CGI face instead of like a practical effect, which I didn't love. You could tell it's CGI. And then I thought they showed her a little too much, the monster. Usually you don't show the monster very much. You try to go Jaws with it, and less is more.
But they showed Stree a lot.
A lot. She could have been like third build on the cast, because she was in there. She was in there more than Tripathi was.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, you could put Stree on that bad boy easily.
Sure. Or ever played her. I mean, it had a huge role. But again, it's another film that did not, I felt, broadcast enough that Tripathi was in the film. Another one I
Very
forgot.
strange.
He pulls up.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
I just think they get him in everything now.
I love that opening scene though, with him riding up on his little moped, and he's telling them the 4 rules of Stree, and he doesn't tell them the 4th before he drives off.
Yeah, it just takes
He gets
off.
a phone call. It's so funny.
Always wearing glasses, I know, though, in movies. Always wearing glasses.
Has probably a eyesight
Well, I don't know, because
deficiency.
he wore sunglasses in the last film that we watched, so I don't. I'm not sure, but yeah.
I think that's kind of the style too of like certain actors in India, is they love the sunglasses.
They do, but usually you don't bring your style into a film, because there's a person that is that specific job. Wardrobe.
Maybe sometimes they just say, "Fuck it, I do what I want." When you become Pankaj as big as Tripathi
That's
is,
true.
you can kind of dictate.
It wouldn't happen over here, but maybe it's very possible. But yeah, I think I think it's a cool thing for wardrobe to throw in there, is a cool set of sunglasses.
Of course.
And I think they know by now Indian people love it.
Well, we've seen certain films where they literally custom make a sunglass one of a kind,
and people are just
have the actor wear
clamoring
it
for
throughout
this
the
thing.
film.
Yeah, now you can't even get a hold of these sunglasses. They're locked down like it's fucking
No,
gold
it's not like
in
you
Fort
can.
Knox.
You can buy movie props online, like here in America. No, they don't have that in India.
No, they do
They're
not.
not buying movie props. They
do not.
One and done.
One and done, absolutely. But yeah, that was my big feeling. Is I liked some of the horror element. I liked at first the way she moved around, how she hovered a lot.
Stree,
but then it became
then it got
almost
comical. It got very comical, which
I don't know if it was supposed to be comical.
Okay, see, I thought it was, and I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I
Like,
did
and
too,
that's why
but
I liked
don't
it.
know if it was supposed to be
Oh,
comical.
you don't think so, huh?
I think maybe they were trying to be scary. With
Okay, no, the hovering when it was like,
Yeah, and then
it
you
would
could
come
tell
in.
she was just like on a horn.
Yeah,
whipping back and forth. Like her upper body wasn't moving at all, but the legs were fucking.
no control of the legs.
Yeah, because she's not harnessed with
Right.
the legs. She's only harnessed on the upper body.
I do love that scene with Raj Kumar Rao where he's like, quiet.
Yeah.
quiet. And then she just keeps screaming. She's like, ah! He's like, why are you always yelling?
They're like romance or show more emotion. And he just starts yelling at her.
And then she's like turning into a normal person. See, those are kind of the things that I thought were really funny about the movie.
There was some definitely funny scenes for sure. Raj kills it as usual.
He is. He's a really good comedic actor.
Yeah, he's got
really good.
He's got good timing. He's got really good comedic timing. I really hope that American produce Indian film that we reviewed. I can't remember the name of it. What's it called? That's coming out to Netflix.
Oh yeah, I forget. White Tiger.
White Tiger. I knew it was something. I was gonna say White Lily or something, but I hope that kind of breaks him into mainstream Western stuff.
Yeah, because he's a really good actor, and I really enjoyed. I know I've said it before, but I really enjoyed Pankaj Tripathi's character in this because he was more of the serious element of comedy. I love his style of comedy.
Yeah,
because it's very like serious. Raj Kumar Rao, he's very like, eccentric, and he has more like a in-your-face comedy, where Tripathi's comedy is more like very more dry.
Well, he can go from being funny to serious very fucking fast. Yeah, he's great. I would just want to see him in more drama stuff because I know he's such a fucking good actor.
Yes,
I want to see but he does a lot of comedy stuff.
He does.
He does not seem like the guy. He seems like Robert De Niro. You wouldn't assume Robert De Niro does a lot of comedy. He does. Unfortunately, he does a lot of comedies. But I want to see him in a lot more serious stuff because he was so great in fucking Gangs of Wasseypur.
Yes. And he's great in Mirzapur too.
Yeah, I just want to see him play more gangsters. Yeah. He's great in it. But he's good. He's very funny. Love him zipping around on the moped. Yeah. He comes back towards the end. Again, my biggest complaint, as usual, is the time. It goes on much too long. It is one of the shorter ones we've done.
It is sitting at 128 minutes.
Only 2 hours.
Yep.
2 hours plus.
Yeah. Well, you always get out of the plus.
Still goes on a little too long where it becomes, like I said earlier, it stops becoming this horror comedy, and like the last 4 minutes becomes like this adventure of like the fucking Scooby-Doo mystery gang. And now they got like a big group of people. They have all the different kinds of characters.
Because the 12 men in the town disappeared because
that was another thing.
Yeah, Jonna was taken over by Stree and wiped off.
News would be involved in that.
You would think, with a massive men disappearing.
And that's one of my complaints where it became too big. I complain about that a lot, like The Mummy, where it becomes this worldwide. That's what I thought Stree kind of became. It became too big of a problem. Horror movies are always better when you keep it small. You keep it around
with a single disappearance where it's not going to be national news.
And there's 3 people involved.
Yes,
not 12 separate families. now
they're
12
all weeping
men are
and wailing. Again, good acting though. Those women came out. They said, "My husband's gone," and I saw the agony in their face. They do know how to weep. They do know how to be sorrowful.
I would have been
over missing husbands.
They were for sure, but 12 men. It's a little much.
It is.
It becomes this big. Now they got to save these fucking. Now they got to save the village.
They do
because there's no men. There's no men left. Yeah.
Well, the whole story is Stree. Obviously, she was marrying. She was what's the word that they call them? They were
a suitor.
No, not a suitor. Gosh,
it's a real urban legend, right?
Stree is.
She comes to your door and knocks.
A mistress, not a mistress, but what are they called? Gosh dang it, I don't know.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Anyway, nonetheless, her and this guy were getting married in the town. The other men were jealous, so they murdered her. That's how Stree came to be. Yeah. So she's coming back and looking for her suitor again, and also getting revenge on the town, which is why she takes every single man out every year. And they write, "Oh, Stree, come tomorrow."
Yeah, well, she usually doesn't take every man. Right, it's usually like a one.
Well, whoever doesn't have "Oh, Stree, come tomorrow" written in cat's blood on their door.
I don't think she usually goes big and takes 12 fucking people every time.
But remember, they erased.
I know. There was the whole story to it. I know. Yeah. Still,
they erased one of the words. So she was taking everyone. She said it's a free for all.
I don't think in the urban legend. She's going around taking whole villages, right? She's taking, because the whole thing is she knocks on the door, right? And if you answer the door, she fucking zooms you out of there. See you like on a fucking paracord or something. The way she yanked that guy out the window,
pretty impressive. The guy, strength.
The guy who was Was he trying to have friendships? Is that what they kept calling
Well,
it?
they called it friendships, but friendships with being paid is just a nice way of saying prostitute.
Yes, I've never heard it called that before. Friendships.
Friendships.
At first, I was thinking maybe they were calling it sex, and they just had to dub it over because. Yeah, but no, I think it's just a term they call having friendships. Because remember, the lady I guess she's kind of a hooker and her own pimp. Because she was kind of strong-arming Raj later.
A courtesan is what they're called. There's the word that I was looking for. A courtesan.
Yeah, but you could just say prostitute.
Right, I could have, but I was looking for the actual definition that they were using within the film. But then we find out that Raj Kumar Rao's character, Vicky, or it's Vicky, right?
It's Vicky.
Yeah,
Vicky, please.
Yeah, Vicky, please. We find out that he fits the prophecy in every which way that Stree's husband, yes. And that his mom was actually a courtesan as well. Yeah. And he was a bastard.
Then he gets involved with some lady that was like hunting Stree. And the whole time, at first, like the first hour, you're supposed to think that this lady is Stree.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just give up on that. And they realize they go.
Well, at some point,
if the movie was shorter, that could have been like the whole twist at the end.
It could have been.
But no, there's another 45 minutes after we figure out that she's not. She's like a hunter of ghosts, a ghostbuster, if you will.
Yeah.
She's like the Van Helsing of India.
Just taking out fucking goblins and witches.
Werewolves. But then at the end, spoiler alert, was she a ghost?
No, what she was a witch trying to harness Stree's powers by taking the braid and placing it onto her, because then she disappears, which
like
tells
they were
me
setting
she's a
it up
witch.
for like a franchise.
Yeah, oh, absolutely they were. Which I wouldn't mind a Shadra Kapoor starred film, like in a spin-off film where she just hunts monsters.
Yeah, but I don't imagine a Stree 2 where it's like the same.
Of course not, no.
And I honestly don't really imagine that this film needs a sequel. I mean,
no, I'm not saying it needs one.
Yeah, at all. Well, that wouldn't really be a direct sequel. It'd be like a spiritual.
Like a Hobbs and Shaw.
Of course. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, she disappears. She's got the braid, and it's like a magical braid.
Yes. You see the fluidity of like magic in the braid.
Yeah, the CGI.
Weird, like pulsing. I don't know what the hell that was.
Yeah, I just thought it was. And then there was like an after credit scene because they didn't get enough music in the actual film, which they did.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
In my mind, they did get enough music.
I thought the breakout number was so distracting.
Yes.
And it just took me out of the film entirely because it was such a random thing to like, and like they didn't even try to like set it up, like kind of like, we're breaking into song.
You can't even have a horror comedy
without a musical.
Well, you can have a horror comedy and you can't even have horror elements if at some point everyone breaks into dance.
Yeah, it was so distracting for me, man.
Yeah, unless it's like a Rocky Horror Picture Show where it's a musical.
It's a musical, and it's supposed to be that.
It's still supposed to be. It's a musical first, but it's in a horror element. Yeah. This you can't have real scary moments, and then everyone breaks down into synchronized dance. It just takes away from me, But
it does.
It happened.
Well, because it took me like 10 minutes to get kind of like reassess and like just get back into the film, and I was like, oh my god, like it's just so off-putting.
What happened another 10 minutes if not the fucking lady knocked on the door and like broke up? Remember their dance party that they're having, all the dudes?
Imagine how much longer that dance party. It probably would have turned into something else.
That's what I'm saying. It's such an odd event.
A lot of testosterone.
Or they were in a haunted house, I think.
And they just break out into music and
no lights. They're all using their phones.
Yeah, they are.
But
and the power goes out. They don't even think anything of it.
They're dancing.
It's like whatever, and the power comes back on. They're like, "Yay! Oh, one of our friends are gone."
Yeah, the guy he's just looking for a condom. He need protection. No room full of guys. Couldn't find not one guy.
That's some either one of two things are happening. One, everyone's idiotic, or two, people are being selfish.
Yeah,
not hooking up the boys with the one you're so clearly not
it's
using.
all dudes. Are you thinking I'm gonna need this condom later?
It's like, hey, look, we got some whiskey, we got some bourbon.
At that point,
might get a little
give him a condom. Let this guy go. Okay, he's actually the one breaking free.
He is.
So let him go. But yeah, not one dude.
Not one guy. That's just shady friendship.
Yeah, maybe they're just all raw dogging.
Maybe.
Not wise.
Not the smartest move.
Not wise, guys.
But you do you.
Absolutely.
Like, who am I to say?
But yeah, it's not smart. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. He just couldn't find a condom.
No?
Poor bastard. Then before he even gets to get the friendship on, yanked
He
out the
gets
fucking
fucking
window. Gets yoinked, yeeted right at the window.
Think about the worst sequence of events that could happen to you. That would be it. You think you're going to get laid, and then you get abducted by a witch.
The blue balls you're going to have.
Because you know Stree ain't going to stroke that one out for you.
Hates men.
Mid-flight.
No, she's not. Yeah, she's not a big fan of men.
No, she's
so
not.
So you're not. You're probably going to get an earful of just complaining.
Right, the whole way. Yeah. Just screaming, complaining.
Yep, just not fun. But yeah, unlucky. Unlucky that fucking Raj Kumar went out and pissed on the fucking warning. Mm-hmm. Peed right on it. So that's
not very smart.
Not smart. And then everyone thinks he's in on it. Yeah.
He moved over on the wall and peed on it. So what a jackwagon.
Well, at that point, he thought he was dating Stree.
He was. Yeah. So he's like, okay.
We got to get her here. Yeah. I got a lot of dudes here.
Maybe she'll sniff my pee.
Yeah.
And maybe that'll give her the scent.
She did, though.
She did. Absolutely.
She saw it coming, yanked that guy.
It was a little strange. Not quite sure.
But yeah, yoinked him right out of there. Yeah. That was a good one.
Let's talk about some of the awards real quick.
Sure.
Filmware Awards, it was nominated for 10 awards. It won 1, and it won Best Debut Director by Amar Kaushik.
Yeah.
Kaushik, I'll say.
And it's one of Raj Kumar's Rayo's highest grossing film.
It is.
Surprising me because the director has not done very much stuff since this. Bala was the only thing that was on his filmography that we reacted to.
Which we just reacted to this week.
People would want this guy to direct something.
You would figure.
Yeah, it's not like that in India.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could go make a ton of money and then never do a film again.
I don't get it. Follow the money, folks. If the money is there, you would figure you want to hire that director to keep making those kind of movies.
Oh, my God. Look what we did with Michael Bay.
Okay, yeah.
He made money, and we're still letting him.
Still, all these years later, it's a problem.
Yeah. So, man, if it's not working for you in India, come over here, make one fucking good film, and we will pay you for the rest of your life to make shitty films. Yeah. But,
you know what? If LJP came over.
Oh, my God. He could.
I would fund every one of his movies.
Well, yeah, you only need $20.
I know, because he makes the film in 11 days. It's insane. But you were talking about the budget and highest grossing. The budget for this film was a mere 20 crore with all these celebrities, with all the CGI and stuff. Only 20 crore, which is pretty astonishing to me. But the box office was an estimated 180.76 crore. That is wild. That is 9 times the amount of the budget.
That did really good, yeah.
That's real good.
That's what I'm saying. This guy couldn't get a fucking another job to save his life.
You got to hire people who make you money.
Yeah, for sure.
And we were talking about sequels, kind of joking around about sequels. In October of 2018, director Amar Kaushik announced that he is planning a sequel to the film. According to Kaushik, the lead actors will return for the film, as well as writers Raj and DK. In an interview, Dinesh Vijan said that Stree 2 will probably be released in the next 5 years, and that was back in 2018. So they're going to be, we're getting a Stree 2.
That's a huge window. 5 years?
5 years, yeah. Well, he's probably busy, my guess.
But still, that's wild.
It is wild.
The next 5 years, there's going to be another one of those fucking movies coming out.
You can't really blame him when you make that much money on a movie.
That's what I'm saying. You think he'd be right on it. The next thing he would have done would have been Stree 2.
And for whatever reason, I had fun with this movie. I actually walked away enjoying it. This was one of that piqued my interest. I just wanted to know the story. I thought the comedic elements really landed for me, a lot of them. And I do hear your point though with trying to blend the two. But I thought overall they did a pretty good job with this. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's an A+ film or like the best film I've seen in India, but it is a good film and one that honestly I would recommend.
I thought I don't know if I'd recommend it, but I thought it was pretty good. I like Go Gone more than as a horror comedy.
See, I like this one better as a comedy.
Yeah, I did not enjoy the romantic themes as much. I feel like it would have been better if it was just focused on Raj and his 2 friends who are funny. They were really funny. One guy's really goofy looking. He gets obsessed or gets possessed through most of the film.
Yeah.
He's very funny looking.
He works with Pankaj Tripathi a lot, the friend that gets possessed.
Yeah, I knew he looked familiar, but I would have liked it if it just stayed with that core and it was really an actual horror comedy, because it really felt like a horror comedy romance, because that was a big part of the film.
Yeah.
Was Raj kind of get with this woman who we think is Stree. She's giving off very odd, she's
Stree
very
vibes.
strange.
Yeah.
Then we found out she kind of is magic. She's a magical witch.
She
so
is.
the red
What's the
flags were there.
difference? Yeah, they were. And I'm glad someone picked up on him.
Yeah, so because she was pulling a Batman a lot, where you turn around.
Yeah, she was gone.
Yeah.
I know, and like they're having like a conversation in the woods, and then like he's feeling her up, doing measurements, right? Of course. And then like
I should have been a tailor.
Yeah, no shit, dude. You can get that close. I mean, goodness gracious.
And not to mention that before they established he was so good, he didn't need to touch or do anything. All he needs to look at you. But now it's
he's like,
I'm got your little hands on. You're a little more curvy than the rest of my.
I might have actually made a mistake. I'm the best tailor around.
That was, I think maybe I laughed the hardest though when she's like, "Don't you need measurements?" And he just starts looking her up and down. I like that a lot. He was such a good tailor, I guess. He was like almost magical.
Yeah,
but good tailor.
Abhishek Banerjee is the actor that played Jana.
Oh yeah,
the possessed one.
Both his friends are.
He's a really
were
good
pretty
actor
funny.
too.
Yeah. But that is Stree. If you do want to watch it, it is on Netflix.
It is on Netflix. Yes, this would have been a great film, I think, for obviously the spooky season.
Yeah,
October.
did it come out during October?
Yeah, I think this has been on Netflix for a little while now. It was just a film that we got to because it won in our poll, but
well, no, it was released in August in India.
Oh, you mean the initial release date? I thought you meant how long it's been on Netflix.
Yeah, it was released. No, I was asking if it came out it would be a good movie to come out during October.
Mm-hmm. It would have
been.
been.
You can go take kids and everything to it, but no, an August movie. I fucking hate when they do that. But it's scary. I guess it was a Halloween theme though. Yeah. But I think it would have been a good one just to do during Halloween.
Yeah, I think so.
For our Namaste Wednesday.
Yeah, we probably should have, but a little late to it. We're doing Halloween shit during Christmas.
In hindsight, we should have saved it. Yeah, we haven't done anything Christmas at all.
No, we haven't.
We're
should
still
probably try to find something soon before this holiday season gets over.
Yeah, we're still doing Halloween shit, but Halloween is the best.
It is the best. It is.
And there's a lot more better horror films than there is Christmas films, unfortunately.
It's true.
It's a much more specific genre of film, where horror is much more broad. All right, Mason, anything else?
No, that should about do it for our Stree review. Do you have anything else to add? I would recommend this film, but we beg the question for you. What would that be?
I would say, I guess if there's nothing else on, but no.
That's not a very glowing review.
No, then I probably wouldn't.
Okay.
I think we've reviewed much better Indian films. It's just, again, it's not.
Even comedically.
It's not my forte.
You didn't like I guess I don't look too much into the horror elements more than I do the comedic elements. I thought the comedy was really well done in this. I think that's probably why I liked it more than you did.
No, I didn't laugh out loud.
Really?
I think I laughed out loud once, maybe. Okay. Yeah, no. You were really just rolling on this one, huh?
Yeah, I liked it, man. I got to be honest with you. I actually liked this one. I liked it a lot more than
I think our comedy taste is a little different.
It is a little
different. No. So far, comedy is not my favorite genre to come out of India. I like things.
Well, I would agree with that.
I like things much more like Ship of Theseus or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Or anything LJP.
Which he hasn't done a comedy yet. So maybe I'm gonna see one I fucking love from him. So we never know. If anyone can do it though, it's him. Yeah, it's him. I need a good LGP movie right now. It's been too long since we've really had a really fucking good Indian film.
Yeah, and truly, someone just commented and said that was going to come out in June. So we have to wait till fucking June of 2021.
Why? The movie's out. They think this shit's going to be over by June?
I don't know.
No way, hombre.
No way.
Whatever. Maybe it will come out though streaming to Amazon.
That'd be nice.
Like Jalika 2?
Yep. We will review that absolutely the day it comes out. The week we ain't doing we're not doing a Namaste Wednesday.
That's
poll.
another horror one.
That's the film we're doing. Right.
That's another horror one.
It is.
I can't even remember.
I believe so. I think it was. It's truly
a thriller, maybe
was like the like the forest. Remember, I'm being very vague.
Right, yeah.
There's a forest in it.
That's all
Super
fucked up.
big.
I think every one of his movies had a
Swirlies,
forest.
yeah.
With the swirlies.
With the swirlies.
Oh, the swirly forest.
It's the
I
swirly
do remember
forest,
that. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, if someone can get us like a burnt copy or something
That'd be
a little
great.
earlier and
We'll
just
love
ship
you
it to us.
forever.
Yeah, before we can get
But please add subtitles, otherwise we won't get the context at all because we're not fluid in Malayalam.
But those films are very expressive. You almost don't need because there's very little dialogue in most of his films anyways.
true.
It's more show, not tell.
Yeah.
Because fucking how much dialogue do you need in Jalika 2?
Not much.
I don't think they speak much. They argue about the bowl a lot.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Alrighty, well, that is our review for Stree. If you guys like what you've seen here, please be sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. If you want to find our podcast in audio format, you can find that on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Our social media pages, Have You Seen It Podcast. And if you guys want some Have You Seen It merch, you can find that link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.